The melody maker of the attic. High up in the attic of an old Victorian house, where dust motes danced in slanting sunbeams and forgotten treasures lay hidden beneath sheets, lived a tiny mouse named Pip. Unlike his family members who spent their days searching for crumbs and bits of string, Pip was fascinated by the strange sounds that drifted up through the floorboards. Mamma Mouse often warned, "Stay away from the lower floors, dear one. That's where the humans dwell, and their cat has eyes like golden coins that shine in the dark." But Pip couldn't help but be drawn to the beautiful sounds that floated up each evening, something the humans called music. In his corner of the attic, Pip had created a cozy home inside an old teacup, lined with soft bits of fabric he'd found among the stored winter clothes. Next to his teacup stood his greatest treasure, a small music box he'd discovered beneath a pile of yellowed photographs. Though it no longer worked, Pip would sit beside it for hours, imagining the tunes it once played. One day, while exploring a previously undiscovered corner of the attic, Pip found something extraordinary, a tiny silver bell that had fallen from an old Christmas ornament. When he touched it, it made the most delightful tinkling sound he'd ever heard. Inspired, Pip began collecting more treasures, a piece of hollow bamboo from a broken wind chime, two thin pieces of metal that clinked together beautifully, and a small glass bottle that whistled when he blew across its top. Night after night, Pip practiced making sounds with his found instruments, trying to recreate the melodies he heard from below. The other mice thought he was peculiar, except for his grandmother, who would smile knowingly and say, "Music lives in the heart, little one, no matter how small that heart might be." One cold winter evening, disaster struck. The big house cat, Duchess, discovered a way into the attic. The mouse community was thrown into panic, with everyone scrambling to hide in the deepest, darkest corners. But Pip knew that wouldn't be enough. Duchess would eventually find them all. That's when Pip had an idea. Gathering his courage and his instruments, he began to play. The silver bell tinkled like stars, the bamboo whispered like wind, the metal pieces danced like rainfall, and the bottle sang like a distant flute. The melody was unlike anything anyone had ever heard, part lullaby, part magic spell. To everyone's amazement, Duchess stopped her prowling. Her fierce golden eyes grew soft, and she sat down, swaying gently to Pip's song. The other mice peeked out from their hiding places, astonished to see the fearsome cat looking so peaceful. From that night forward, everything changed. Duchess became a regular visitor to Pip's concerts, curling up contentedly while he played his found object orchestra. The other mice gradually joined in, adding their own sounds, acorn caps for drums, stretched threads for string instruments, and tiny whistle songs of their own. Word spread through the walls, and soon mice from other parts of the house would make the journey up to the attic to hear the magical melodies. Even the humans noticed something special about their attic, often pausing at the foot of the stairs to listen to the strange, sweet music that drifted down. Mamma Mouse, who had once worried about Pip's unusual interests, now proudly told anyone who would listen, "My son may be small, but his music can tame cats and bring joy to all who hear it." And so, the attic became known as the happiest place in the house, where cats and mice could sit together, bound by the universal language of music. On quiet evenings, if you listen very carefully, you might still hear Pip's gentle orchestra floating down from above, a reminder that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply be ourselves and share our gifts with the world.